Jay here, Stretford, Paddock, and this is the Brew, and we're a little bit earlier today, but don't worry, you're still going to get your full fill. We've got two guests with us today. We've got Angelina Kelly from TalkSport Edge. How are we doing?
I'm good, how are you?
Yeah, not too bad, not too bad. We've also got Anthony Crolla. Anthony, great to have you back on the channel.
Jay, what's happening? I'm good.
Yeah?
Good, thank you, mate.
Busy?
Good to be here. Yes, mad busy.
Yeah.
Busy, but busy's good.
It's non-stop with you, and you don't help as well, putting him on the phone just before we're about to
I
go
know,
live, which is why we're 5 minutes late. Because
Sorry.
Angela Infinite Wisdom went, yeah, that's with me. So it's just been FaceTiming Angie's mate.
Blame him, not me.
I
I didn't know the conversation was going
Have
to
you
go
ever
on
known
that
him
long.
to speak to anyone and take
This
less than
is-
at
this
least
is
5
true.
minutes?
True.
Come on.
Yeah.
You know
No,
better
he
than
knew his
that.
boxing. The guy knew his boxing, to be fair.
So that's why we're early but later than we were going to be being
My
early.
fault.
If that makes any sense.
Yeah.
Get involved in the comments in the chat. We're going to be chatting about a load of different things because today's Dividend Day, which is good news, isn't it, Ant? Hey?
Good news for who? Good news for who?
Good news for the Glazers. I don't think it's good news for Manchester United Football Club. You've probably seen it. It's all over social media and reports. The Glazers taking £11 million in dividends. I think they're taking around 30 odd million in this last financial year, or whatever it is. We know they take money out of the club. When you see stuff like that, does it anger you? Does it bother you?
Yeah, of course it does.
It
has done for years, and it's a big problem at the club, and it has been for years. You know, people have been very vocal about it, and it's not getting any better. It's not getting any better. Listen, it's one of them. And you know what you do? You'll have other fans going, "Oh, they've spent X amount. Oh, can't they take that out?" They just their interest, their best interest has never been Manchester United. They've wanted it they've ran it as a business for years for their benefit, nothing to do with the love for the club. No. And that's it. And like I said, other rival fans or football people, well, they've spent this, they can do what they want, they can take it. But there's so much more what they could have been spending that on. Listen, you know, you've got to look at, listen, I love Old Trafford. And, I do love the old school feel about it, but certain things like facilities and stuff like that.
Oh, it's a joke. It is bad.
It's scandalous.
It's
laughable.
It is bad. Like, people will say to me, like, oh, like, people in London, like, oh, but Old Trafford, like, what's it like?
Bad.
I'm like, not great, to be honest.
Where do you, just not to change subject, we'll get back onto the Glazers in a minute. Where do you stand on Old Trafford? Because we've had a debate on this channel a few times, and I'm probably in the minority. I think we should knock it down and build a new stadium.
On that site or
I think so. Or next door or whatever in that little area. Other people are like, you can't do that, it's Old Trafford.
But I'm probably a bit more like that. You can't, but there's got to be some kind of refurb or something.
You're sitting there, aren't you, with your leaks on your head. Your knees, if you sit down, your legs are squashed.
Yeah.
Like, it is
you know what's hard? And again, it's sort of like the old school. Like, I like going Goodison Park over them when I'm sat behind them
pillars.
Yeah, which always happens.
Right.
Always happens.
I like Goodison.
But I like the old school feel. So I do like, without contradicting myself, I like that bit of Old Trafford. But it's weird. Like, you know, I've been Tottenham's ground. It's unbelievable. It might be the best stadium I've ever seen. But then I don't know. Does it feel like football? I don't know. I think West Ham's similar.
I've not been to the new one, West Ham. I went to Upton Park, and that was a ground that.
Everyone says it's great. I never got to Upton Park.
Yeah,
but everyone said it was brilliant, you know, and I think there's a lot of West Ham fans, a lot of old school West Ham fans who was gutted when they moved. And I think I've been there, you know, obviously the Olympic Stadium.
Yeah, that's it.
Of course been there, and it's it's not a football ground. I think you're too far away from the pitch, and I think they really struggled, didn't they? I know they had a much better season. I think they struggled to adapt, I think, for a bit. But no, certainly, there does need to be improvements.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's a tough one because, I mean, I think you've got to keep it in that location because Gary Neville's going to be fuming, isn't it? Do you know what I mean? Built that hotel and then it's nowhere even near. But
well, that's a good reason to keep it in that location,
yeah,
isn't it? So Gary Neville.
Keep Gary Neville happy.
We don't want the Webby and O'Neill podcast having to move, do we? Come on, that'd be an outrage.
That would be a disgrace. No, I think definitely like keeping it in that location is a must. But I would probably agree to maybe knock it down because it's still the same place.
I know, like I get where you're coming from, Ant, right?
Yeah.
And I always think like with the history and everything, it comes with you. You don't lose that. Do you know what I mean? You still be Manchester United. You've been like, you know, I always use it as an example, like the Allianz Arena in Munich. That's still Bayern Munich. That's still that history.
Course.
You know, Juventus have moved from the Stade Alpi, haven't they? It's still you.
I don't want to sound like sad and fake, but I just couldn't imagine it.
No, you're not.
Yeah.
Listen,
like,
I'm the one who's in the
sitting
minority
down to the,
because
well, I couldn't imagine it.
Fergal McClements, right? This is a running theme whenever Angie's on the
What?
podcast.
What?
He says, this is the most mank one of these ever. Right? Every time Angie's on.
Also,
You know
it's
what?
To be fair, you're not helping either. I mean, last time she's on
Sorry,
it was
mate.
Mia and Steve, and that was mank.
I make it worse.
Yeah.
You know what?
And then now we've got...
It's been a running theme of conversation though, because not only have I had people in London trying to trick me into saying like, oh, you're going to lose your accent. I'm like, this is with me for life.
Nowhere.
I will even set up a community of Mancunian people in London to have like conversations just to keep it up. Do you know what I mean? I'm not losing it. I love it. I'm never going to change it.
I think there's a better chance of Cockney sounding mank when you've been there for a little while.
Exactly. But it's like a lot of people in London, like they try it. I think I mentioned it last time I was on, like they try and do impressions and it sounds Yorkshire.
Did it?
Like they don't get it right and they all... Do you guys call Manchester Manny?
No.
Thank you.
Do you know who calls people, like, who calls Manchester Man, like, out of town?
Yeah,
Like,
where's that come from,
Do you know
Manny?
what?
That was
Bugsy
never a
Malone
thing.
says
No one
it.
calls it
All the Londoners say,
Yeah,
well, Bugsy
yeah,
Malone
yeah.
says it, so it must be
No,
a Manc thing. But
it's not.
It's not, is it?
I always thought that was
not.
like a joke. Like
Same.
Manny.
Like Manny
From
on the
South
map.
Manny.
Yeah.
I think
Manny on
because
the
it,
map.
I think 'cause
Is
it
it?
rhymed.
When,
I think because it literally
Manny on
flowed
the
in a
map
rap.
is-
Probably
yeah,
that
that's
they
what I
used
think,
it.
yeah.
Manny, nah.
Thank
It's not
you.
about... Paul
You
Cushing's...
know what? I'm going to clip that out and show it to everyone in London just to prove.
Yeah.
Van Crolla
We're
says
proper
that's good
mank,
enough
we
for
know
me.
what we're talking
Where
about.
about? It's North Manchester, right?
I'm North Manchester, yeah.
Is it Moston, mate?
Yeah, so I was still with tennis in Newton Heath, and
Right.
then so I couldn't really get any more United, and then obviously to New Moston.
Right.
Yeah.
Salford.
Salford
on
in the
bread.
I'll say. Can't go wrong.
Yeah.
Paul Cushing says, $1 million Crolla is a legend. What a fighter. Never turned down a fight.
Paul, thank you, mate. Appreciate the love.
Yes, definitely. Very true as well. Andy says, just need Andy Tate now and we've completed it. Yeah, that'd probably...
Too far. I think we push it too far.
Then we'd have to get subtitles if we had us three and Andy Tate on.
Definitely.
Rebecca Jade O'Sullivan says, why can't Jim Ratcliffe just come in and invest so that we can keep our club playing the same place we have since 1909? Yeah, have you heard about this Jim Ratcliffe thing?
No.
Do you know who he is? He's one of the I think he's Britain's richest man, right?
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah. So he's got a few quid. Now
Yeah.
he tried to buy. He's a United fan. As
Oh,
a kid,
right, yes, yeah.
So he tried to buy Chelsea, and he said, "Oh, when I was a boy, I was a United fan, and I've been at Stamford Bridge when I've been older." He didn't buy Chelsea, but he was trying to buy it for the right reasons. He was saying, "Look, I'm not trying to make money out of it." You know, he's 71 or whatever. He said, "I'm going to invest in it."
Well, he's not looking to make. If he's the richest guy, it's not.
No,
like
I
he's
don't think
looking
he's
to
in it.
make
He's not like a
crazy money.
Glazer type thing where he wants to take money out. But it didn't happen. And then people saying, well, why couldn't he buy United? He's a United fan, boiled United fan. He's worth about, I don't know, about 25 billion or whatever.
Yeah.
So you think he'd have the money. So a few people are saying, you know, could he come in and save us? Do you think that is the answer, like a rich? Do you think that is the way out of this for the Glazers?
Being realistic,
Yeah.
I think they're not going to sell unless they get what they want for it. I know as fans we can put pressure on them, but being realistic, I think that's what it's going to take. And again, it's as much as we hate it, that it's going to involve them getting massively compensated for what they've done, and what they've done's wrong. And again, you've always got to be careful, because someone straight away throws like, oh, they've invested this, they've spent that and that. They've not out the best interest of the club, never once, never have been. But unfortunately, and it's not sort of sounding defeatist, because I know there's lads who are campaigning all the time and, you know, to try and get rid of him. But I believe it's going to involve, to get rid of them, I think it's going to involve them being heavily compensated.
Definitely. Abhinav Verma in the chat says, last time I heard Jay say he saw Jim Ratcliffe at an ATM in Eccles. No, right. I tweeted. Right, I was in a shout.
Go
Thanks.
on, defend yourself.
I tweeted just messing about that. I've just seen Jim Ratcliffe getting some money out of the cash machine in
Yeah.
Eccles. Like, hopefully he's going to buy United with it. And then I shouldn't even say this on camera. I'm getting in so much trouble. My missus messaged me.
Yeah.
She went, is that true? No, I've not just seen Britain's richest man in Eccles getting money out of the cash machines to buy United. She went, oh yeah, when you say it like that.
Yeah.
I don't know. Maybe Jim Ratcliffe is the answer. We don't know, man.
Just because she trusts everything that you say.
Well, you two, you and her wound me up that Danny, these her and my missus wound me up that Danny Welbeck was in Harry Potter.
Oh my God, that was the
Right.
best.
Did we
No,
get
it
him?
wasn't. It was Twilight.
Twilight, yeah. Because my missus was like, Danny Welbeck was in Twilight, right? And then she said to me, I'm like, no, he wasn't. Like, what was he? He's a footballer. What do you mean? No, he did like a cameo.
And you bought it.
I bought, right, but then...
And then she messaged me and
She
I
messaged me and
backed
she went,
her.
ask
It
anyone, ask
was-
Ange.
It was our joint idea.
Yeah, she went,
to do
ask
it.
Anne, she'll tell you. So I thought...
Was it to watch Twilight? Or?
Yeah, she loves Twilight.
Yes,
And I love
yeah.
Danny
And
Welbeck.
I'd messaged her because she'd put a picture that she was watching. It was like, oh God, I remember watching this back in the
Yeah.
day. And then we were talking,
And
messaging,
bang,
and she was saying that Jay hated it. I was like, let's.
I thought that's garbage. She's like, is asking anyone ask Ange, right? But I didn't know they'd been talking, so I just thought, right, I will. And then she went, oh, he is, you know.
I was like, what you want about? Have you not seen it?
I was on the Internet Movie Database looking to see if Danny Welbeck was in the cast of Twilight.
Did you actually sit down to watch it? You didn't manage to get...
Well, she does that thing, it's either that or Harry Potter, and I mean, Harry Potter's just kids with sticks, and I'm not into that. So I thought, at least Twilight's adults.
But vampires, so...
Yeah. Talking of Internet Movie Database, this is a quality link, by the way.
Here we go.
The Pogba show. We're going to talk about this briefly and move on, because I know people are like...
Yeah, we don't want to give it that much life.
Just quickly. Have either of you two bothered with this?
No.
Absolutely not. I'd gonna say I'd rather watch Love Island, but I don't actually mind watching Love Island.
Do you like Love Island?
watch the City documentary.
Do you watch Love Island?
I'd rather watch.
I do, but I've not invested that much time.
I'd probably rather watch the last season's highlights. Liverpool going for the quad.
Yeah. Something like that. Yeah.
Just on the important topic of Love Island, you've been watching it.
Absolutely.
Because, like, see, if the former lightweight world champion can watch Love Island, so can I, without getting stick. Who do you reckon's going to win, Ant?
Do you know what? Do you know who I think's absolute comedy gold, like TV gold? Don't get me wrong, I won't want to bring her home to my mum.
Ekin-Su,
she's brilliant. She's a lunatic. Lunatic.
I love last night, right, when she was all calm. He told her he didn't want to, he wanted to get to know Paige, right? He sat down and she was like, yeah, okay, no problem.
That went well. Yes.
And
you just knew there was a massive problem.
And it just clicked, didn't it? She looked at herself in the mirror.
She psyched herself up. And then she went out there, she went, can I have another word with you?
And then that... Do you know what it is, though? You know what it is with her? I think everyone has got a mate who, like, brings a pretty girl out, and you're thinking, how's he pulled her? But then... what happens is you see and you think, wow, she's a lunatic. Like, that's why she's single and that's why she's with your daft mate.
Do you know?
He's not actually...
Because he'll put up with it and he'll just pander to her needs.
So what's good on the Instagram pictures and all that with you? And you're thinking, he's set.
Bless him.
But he made him laugh.
You know what, though? Me and my mate was talking yesterday, and, like, especially the girls, like, especially Michael Owen's daughter, like, the way she handled things... When we were 19, it was like not a chance we would have been that calm. We'd have been having meltdowns, we'd have been crying, we'd have been flipping tables.
Still trying to jib on the bus to the match at 19.
19. There's no way I could have been on there when I was 19.
You wouldn't have, I will say the majority, but I guess they're not all average 19, 20, like early 20s. They're not the average people, are they? So
no, they're not. I get it.
But most 19-year-old girls are not handling something that well. So I will give her that. Because like me and my mate said, it'd have been carnage if we were in there at that age.
It's a guilty pleasure. I'm glad it's your guilty pleasure as well. What's your sort of guilty pleasure? Something you watched that's a bit embarrassing, maybe?
Real Housewives
of Cheshire.
Nah, that's not even good. You want to watch the American ones? It kicks off.
What is it? Nah,
I ain't watching. Nah. It's not even filmed.
She wants violence. She wants violence. Jeez.
Don't talk to me about that Cheshire.
About Cheshire.
It's not even filmed in Cheshire. It's filmed in Manchester anyway.
Right. Okay.
So it's just no.
She's passionate
Real
about
Housewives of Dubai.
I might have to swap
you. Know
you.
what?
Yeah.
You know what?
Jeez.
When it was my birthday in like lockdowns, and everyone was doing them quizzes. My cousin did like an Angelina like birthday quiz for like me and my mates, and there was a Real Housewives section. Like, obviously, I won it. No one else knew the answers.
The Real Housewives of what? Dubai.
Dubai's just started. That's a bit.
Have you seen Atlanta?
Atlanta, yes.
That goes off.
It goes off in Atlanta.
Gets all sorts of dross, mate.
Potomac as well. It gets a
Potomac. That's a bit random.
I know. New Jersey, you've got table flips. You've got all sorts. Mate. Yeah, that is 100% the guilty pleasure. Yeah.
Seriously, hit the like button.
So, I mean, Pogba's got us talking about this. This is Pogba again.
This is for anyone who wants to defend
Pogba. We're talking about the Housewives of Jersey, New Jersey, Love Island,
Potomac,
rather than talk about the Pogmentia. That's the effect he has on the club. Fans, the lot.
I think, we do need to move on. I'll just mention it briefly because it's been doing the rounds, and also it's the lowest rated thing, I think, on Internet Movie Database, but I don't think anyone is going to be watching it.
Why carrying it on? It's like, I had a bit of a debate with someone who's an Arsenal fan who was saying, like, oh, yeah, but, he's been trolled by the media, he's been trolled by the fans, and it's like, well... There was times when, it was kind of Jose versus Pogba. People were backing Pogba. Yeah. People were glad to see the back of Jose because of it. And I think it's unfair to say that the fans treated him so poorly because I think on the whole, I don't think he got treated that bad. I think there's people that have been treated worse.
Didn't get treated bad. Do you know what? It was like you'd have people going, why didn't you build a team around him? And I get, listen, he was talented. But listen, if he would have built a team around him and he had a brilliant season, he would have gone 2-0. I know he might have paid for him. He would have gone 2-0. I said it from day one. Yeah. I don't really know what I'm on about, but I was pretty certain I was right about this. I remember having a rant years ago on social media. it was never about the club. It was always about brand Pogba, and that probably just confirms it with this documentary.
100%.
It was always brand Pogba, whatever it was. I remember being in Stockholm, and this was another thing. And people go, oh, can't he celebrate with his family? The dangers who said that. Oh, can't he? All the teams celebrating. It was when we just won in Stockholm.
Yeah.
Before celebrating with the team, and all the teams celebrating, he's ran over to about 6 or 9 people, all in Pogba shirts. I think it was for Adidas. Doing one of his dances. They're doing it to him. He's filming it all on a phone. And he's doing that before celebrating. It was always about his brand. Always unbelievably talented player.
Yeah.
Unbelievably talented player. But he just, he put himself first, and so be it. Do you know what I mean? Fair play to him.
That's like you see, fair play to him.
He was never ever Manchester United, never ever. It was the worst bit of business.
Yeah.
I don't know about what's ever been done at Manchester United. It might be one of the worst bits of business in football.
Really? The sad thing is, like you say, on his day, he was a mint player. For me, I've always said this a million times, and we'll move on. Just injured far too much. Like you say, too much.
Mate, okay, then, so this is the one. I know I keep going on about it.
Go on.
I was at Anfield towards the end of the season.
Last season?
Yeah, when
Jesus
got
wept.
battered. Yeah, I didn't go down. I didn't go finger for the up for the second half. Okay. How many people around you are? Who's there? Was like, he's not injured. He might have been injured, but
you know what? It's
straight away it was like no one believed he was injured.
Nah.
So that just tells you what's up. In the end, the fans have just had enough.
I mean,
and more than likely, like I'm saying, no, probably wasn't injured.
Yeah,
I'm with you
I've
on
seen
that.
someone saying that where was it in the Europa final just before the penalties? He got a tweet, didn't he? And people saying, did he not take a penalty?
I don't know about.
And I mean, I don't like. He got a load of stick, didn't he, at Norwich game, which I didn't agree with, booing him and telling him left off. I thought it was a bit much. I mean, I'll never do that to my own player. But listen, it didn't work out, and it was one of them moved on. This whole Pogba thing just seemed like a waste of everyone's time. Oldham Crank says, Crolla, seeing you near co-op in Chad, proper guy.
Thank you. I've actually never lived that. Yes.
I love, like little man.
Thank you, man.
Do you get people saying
Someone
you saw
tweeted me
you?
before saying I saw you
next time.
Someone tweeted me before saying I saw you in Asda in Trafford Park, but I forgot your name. So I was going to say hello. I thought, well, there's like an insult and an acknowledgement at the same time. Do you get that?
Ah, thank you.
No, I don't get recognised.
I got a text once saying I've just seen Steve Housen buying some Red Bull. all right, nice one. Keep me posted. Get involved in the comments in the chat. Patrick Cassidy's been a member of the Academy for 19 months. I like this. He said, on its day, it's a good documentary. Nice. Nicely done. Should we talk about Christian Eriksen?
Go on then.
Because we were talking about him to Damesh Seth from Sky Sports. He's going to be on the channel. We've done that video. That's going to be up tomorrow. It looks like he's got a decision to make between United and Brentford. Now, on the surface, you go, well, it's going to be United, in it, no disrespect to Brentford. Yeah. One season in the top flight, or in Premier League, I should say. Mm-hmm. You know, what's the ground old 15,000, 20,000, whatever it is, nowhere near the size of Old Trafford. You know, why would he want to stay there? But that's the team that took a chance on him when he was, you know, obviously had his heart issue. He's done well there as well.
And it's not a terrible team or anything. No. You know, they did, you know, looking at the Premier League.
Overachieved.
Yeah, 100%. Like, they did well. It's not like, you know, it's like Everton or something where you're thinking, is it going to be, you know, a relegation battle and a really depressing season next season? You know, they've got potential to keep growing and moving and at least maintaining. So,
I mean, just on Eriksen, would you have him at United? Did you think he could fit into our team?
Yeah, I would have him at United, certainly. Do I think he could fit in the team? Yeah. And I'll also be honest as well, there will be a special place in his heart for Brentford because they did take a chance on him, and that's an unbelievable story. He died, didn't he? He died, do you know what I mean? And
those images are horrible.
Horrendous. And then to come back and, like you say, Brentford took a chance on him. He had a very, very good season, didn't he? Do you know what I mean? So, no, I would. I think there's a place for him at United. And I like to say it'd be interesting to see what happens.
What do you reckon? Do you reckon he's a player that is he going to rotate? Do you reckon he could start every week? Because that might be consideration as well, isn't it? Because you might be looking at it going, am I going to get many games there? Am I going to be behind Bruno and you know, McFred or whoever's playing in that midfield, or Donny van der Beek even?
Donny.
Yeah, I think he'll be given a fair shot though, because as it's been discussed a million times, Erik ten Hag knows who he is, he knows what he's about because he did that training with Ajax, didn't he? So I know Brentford gave him a chance, but at the same time, Ajax kind of opened up their Ten Hag and co opened up their facilities for him and everything. So it'll be interesting. I think it will be. I don't think he would be starting every game though. I'll be honest. But then there are more games because we've got Europa League games as well. So maybe I feel like there would be enough games to go round. You know what I mean?
Thursday nights.
You mentioned that Stockholm. You're looking forward to it.
I can't wait. I can't wait.
You're gonna go do little tours to like Estonia and all that.
Do you know what? Hopefully, well, no, I will be.
You like your way?
I was gonna say you love a little trip.
Yeah, no, but I love a random one.
Yeah.
So yeah. It's everyone's fed up of going Barcelona, Madrid.
Yeah, it's
Been
done all that.
Want to go Estonia or Latvia
Get
or
me into
something.
Moldova.
Yeah,
So
yeah,
you would have
Moldova.
really wanted that Europa conference. That's what you would have wanted.
Secretly, I
You
did.
just gutted
No,
when
I did. No, obviously, no. I wouldn't have said no. Yeah, no, I love like the I do love a wacky
Gonna be
away.
sat
As
waiting
most
for the
of us
group
do.
draw.
Let's not pretend. Everyone, I can't wait.
Be sat with pen and paper making
Some of my mates going to Thailand next week for the United Liverpool
We're going.
friendly.
We're going. Me, I know, mate. I'm looking at right. There's a group chat of the lads in the channel. Like,
That's
we're
gonna
going to
be
cover
brilliant.
pre-season.
Yeah.
And I just replied, and she won't mind me telling this. Told it everyone. I said, count me out. There's no way I'm going to be allowed to go Thailand and Australia. My missus ain't having that one.
Yeah.
So I was doing the ironing next day, right? I was doing the ironing.
The ironing.
The ironing. Ironing my
Yes,
t-shirt.
yes,
Right, I was doing the ironing.
You were trying to get into a wood box.
I was doing ironing my
You knew what you
t-shirt.
was doing.
And I went there booking Australia and Thailand today. And she went, hey, I went, Macca and Joe and that. She went, why are you not going? I went, what? She went, why are you not going? She went, it's work, you should be going. And I went, yeah, all right, very funny. She went, if it's work, you can go. And I literally went,
The text was already pre-prepared.
And he booked it. He went, I need your passport number. I went, sorry, saved him.
Bang.
You had it ready.
Nah, it'd be great.
honestly.
It'd be great.
So,
seeing
yeah, we're
Reds
going to be
over
out there.
So how long you out there for?
Well, we go, it's me, Callum, McCullough and Joe. We fly out on the 9th via Heathrow to Thailand for 4 days, and then we go to, is it Melbourne and Perth?
Yes.
Yeah, so over there.
Yeah.
And then we come back, and then because she's let me go there, and me and her are going to go Norway for the game over in Norway.
That is only fair.
Do
That
you know
is
what I
only
mean?
fair.
It's nice that, isn't it, of me?
Yeah, very kind. You always say
So
you've
who's-
always got time for little people,
I have.
even your missus.
Who's going out there then? Are you going out there?
No, I'm not. Yeah, a few of the loons near us are going. A
Can you
few
let
of
me
the
know
loons
where
they're
I
going.
need to avoid?
I'll
No
let you know where
disrespect
they're
to your
heading.
friends,
I'll
but
pass your
do you
number.
know what I
No, but yeah, no. Do you know what? I actually was kind of going. I have just been too busy, and yeah, I probably couldn't justify United Liverpool in Bangkok.
This is the thing, because like,
Don't rule it out though. Don't rule it out.
yeah, right. If you're
Don't
over
rule
there,
it out.
off me up. Listen, before we get into our next topic, we've got a little message here from our friends at Manscaped. Summer is coming, the sun is shining, shirts are off, especially around Salford from what I've seen, and your balls are smooth. I've not been looking at balls around Salford, I promise you. But thanks to manscaped.com, you can get 20% off and free shipping as well when you check out the link in the description. All you've got to do is use the code Housen, because let's face it, we want to look good for the summer, don't we? We don't just want our heads looking smooth. We want our nether regions looking smooth as well. And thanks to Landscape and Manscaped and their Lawnmower 4.0 and their performance package with their boxer briefs, with their anti-chafing technology, with the Weed Whacker for people like me who've got a bit of, nasal hair and ear hair that needs clearing out, especially in the summer breeze. You don't like the summer breeze whistling through your nose hair. It's just not pleasant. So Manscaped have got you covered, and you can be one of the 4 million men worldwide, and that's basically all the men worldwide, if my maths are right, which they usually are. Then you can join them and use the technology at Manscaped. So you've got the Lawnmower 4.0, you've got the boxer briefs, you've got the Weed Whacker, you've got the crop preserver, you've got the ball toner, you've got everything. So not only are you smooth, you smell nice down there as well, because let's face it, things can get a bit sweaty during the summer months, can't they? And no one wants to be in that situation where someone goes, what's that smell? And you know it's you. And I've been there, trust me, it's not nice. It's very embarrassing. But thanks to Manscaped, that won't happen. So make sure you are using the code HOUSEN. Check out the link in the description, 20% off and free shipping. Your balls and your friends will thank you. So thanks to our friends over at Manscaped for sponsoring us. We're talking about Christian Eriksen and whether he's going to come. The big topic has been about Frenkie de Jong, hasn't it?
Yeah.
And is he going to come? United apparently, you know, preparing a second bid, and you know, it's Barcelona are playing. I wouldn't say hardball. I think they just want the money back. What they paid for him. They paid about 65 million, didn't they, for Ajax? They want that back for him. And I'll start with you. Do you reckon this is going to happen, and do you want it to happen?
I think there's a very good chance of it happening because at the end of the day, Barcelona's priority is Robert Lewandowski, and they're going to have to spend over 50 million for him. Other players that they've been linked with as well, you know, they need at least 1 or 2 signings. That's their priority. So Frenkie de Jong, unfortunately, is collateral damage in, you know, you've got to go because we need the money to make room for these. You know, they need Lewandowski, 100%. They need him more than de Jong. So I think it's 100%. I think he is going to leave because there's also rumours that now that he's found out that they've basically said, listen, we like you, but if we get the right price, you're gone. Yeah. He's like, right, okay, well, I'm out then. So I think it's very, very doable. If it does happen, I would love to know. I think Erik ten Hag deserves a medal for his persuasive skills because that's a lot of persuading to do because, you know, listen, I love this club and everything, but you're looking at Man United at the minute. You're not going to be like packing your bags ASAP and like.
Do you know what though?
I
think Barcelona is going through some tough times, aren't they? Tough time, but I do get what you're saying. It's still a lot more glamorous than, you know, coming to Old Trafford, isn't it? Let's be honest.
Come on, man.
Come on.
You know what I mean? You ever been
pretty
like,
basic in Barcelona, innit? Yeah. That Ramblers.
Like, it's not the same as going to
pick up
the Ramblers. The Ramblers Market
Come
Street.
on, like,
do you know what I mean?
Street.
No,
way better
you know what though? One thing I will say is, as always, it looks like whenever we go for a player, like how often do you see Manchester United going for a player and business gets done quick? And do you know, like the fact you said, they need Lewandowski's like, they want the marquee signing and stuff like that. So they'll sacrifice de Jong, you know, for that. But what's the chances of United? Would you say, United? They won't get a buy. They won't have that as a barter until I guarantee United will pay a lot for him.
Yeah. Well,
with that comes pressure.
Yeah.
With that comes pressure. And I know what I always say about the market now these days. You can't really judge it too much because it's just mental. It's been mental for a long time, hasn't it? But as always though, when we've been linked to a player, it's very rarely we get linked to a player and business gets done in a matter of days.
Donny van de Beek was the only one I can think of.
Yeah.
That's literally on one post Fergie. Yeah. I mean, there might be others. I can't think of any. Certainly not recent.
When I was last at who did we play in the midweek? Was it Burnley at Old Trafford?
Brentford.
Was it near Christmas?
Oh, near Christmas.
I remember like I was coming out, you know, Flight Club.
Yeah.
Been in there. I was in the taxi on the way home, and my brother adores him. Like it's just becoming on no joke. He's hanging out the black cab, singing. Danny, he loved it. I think it must have been one of his greatest times in Manchester, Van der Beek. But I just want it to work for him, just for the fact he like give my drunken brother the time of day. Do you know what I mean? Singing out of a black cab.
I remember when we had you on the Paddock podcast years ago, the Full Time Those podcast. We have a Wally of the Week. And I remember we said Wally of the Week, and it's usually like, you know, some rival player. And you said your brother. He's not changed much, to be honest. Yeah, that'll have to be our kid. Yeah. Oh my god. It's weird though with Donny van de Beek because can I mention him? Because obviously he was part of that successful Ajax team that got to the semi-finals of the Champions League. He was nominated for the Ballon d'Or. He played alongside Frenkie de Jong. He obviously played under Erik ten Hag. You know, did really well. We've seen glimpses of it. He never really got a good run in the team at United. And do you think he will under ten Hag? Do you want to see more of Donny van de Beek? I know Ant's brother does. Yeah, he certainly does. Yeah, no, 100%. He's not been given a fair, you know, go, in my opinion. And I feel bad for him because it's like, you know, he's gone to Man United. You know, there was that whole thing of Van der Sar saying, look after him and all that stuff. You know, he's clearly like bigged it up for him to go. And it's just not worked out. But I think there are other players that have been given a lot of chances that aren't necessarily deserved. And I think he still deserves a chance. Do you know what he's like? He's weird, Donny van de Beek, because there's like a section of United fan base, your kids probably reading him, that love him. Like, I remember being, you know, going to Stretford. I've heard that argument at least 10 times over the last season. There's other players who are getting more game time. Maka, when he was going, Maka on one podcast we did, going mad. Fred stinking out the gaff and Donny van de Beek's not even getting a chance. And I remember the derby. Everyone like the TRA was singing his name. Van de Beek, he was warming up. Right, he comes on. The first thing he did, he nearly set up Phil Foden for a goal. He laid on a through ball for Phil Foden.
Oh, I should have laughed.
Do you know what I mean? I was like, oh my God. But then he did like a little pirouette on the end of our box. No one around him, like the sort of thing, you know, you're doing five-a-side with no one there to show off. And everyone's, do you know
Love
what I
him.
mean? He's definitely becoming a bit of a cult hero, if I can call him that.
Do you know what though? If you could, let's say, turn it round. Well, turn it round.
Yeah.
It'd be unbelievable. It's
weird, isn't it? Because you're almost scared to say it, especially the Glazers, like, oh, that'd be like a new signing, because it sounds a bit like PR. But if you could get something out of him, because we've had nothing really, have we?
Nothing.
Not necessarily his own fault, 'cause he's not had a big chance. It's a shame because he went to Everton for 15 games and missed 8 of them with injury. Do you know what I mean?
My brother tried telling me he was the one who kept Everton up, and I was thinking, I don't think he played. I don't think he played. Like, he was Everton's best player, picking up points, and
I love that.
You know what? I rate the dedication. I'm here for it.
And I'd like check. He's not even played. He's not even played, but
but he was still there in the dressing room, inspiring them to.
You know what, though? I've seen
presence,
things like that on
Twitter.
I've seen people saying those arguments like, when he didn't, even like, there's no wonder like we get rid of Donny van de Beek, he keeps Everton up.
He's not playing. I do actually really love him to be a success come back.
He's one of those players as well, like, when he does the things he's good at, he's good to look at and it's good to watch. He's good on the ball, he can pick a pass, and obviously, you know, I know he's not a goal scorer as such, but he's got a couple of goals, didn't he, for
If
United?
anyone's going to get the best out of him, it's surely going to be this man.
Yes,
so
you would
I think
that.
He needs the chance, and if it's still not working by January, then I think, you know, maybe you've got to look at other options.
Hit that like button, get involved in the chat and the on all the comments as well. Let us know what you think about Donny van de Beek. Whether do you think he's good enough? Do you think that he's do you think that maybe he has been a little flattered to deceive, shall we say? Mike Smith says, hi Jay, is a sausage more meaningful than the Glazers' ethics? Yeah, I don't think the Glazers have any ethics, to be honest with you. I think they're just there to take money off us. Ryan Kelly says, oh, Anthony Crolla. Loads of Crolla love, as you'd expect, and Angelina Kelly love as well, obviously. Don't forget that as well. I know you've got to shoot off because you're up to all sorts, aren't you? You're busy.
Yeah, I'm a busy man, but it's great to be in here. No, really, and
like a broken
man.
Like,
I was a broken.
I'm a busy man.
Yeah.
Busy man. I was a broken man last season. Like, come to the honestly, I reckon the last few weeks of that season, it aged me about 15 years. Genuinely, like, just the thought of.
Was that the worst those last few weeks? Was that the worst? Can you remember? Do you think? I think that was worse
and
than
it wasn't. I know it sounds bad.
I agree.
Oh yeah, absolutely. But no, I think. Do you know what it was? For me, it was and I know, just focus on your own as well before you go on it, but it was the thought of like what could happen, and I might have been out in Thailand. If it would have happened, I would have met you out in Thailand. So I would have moved over there. Because I couldn't stay there. It was just an horrendous time, and it's just thankfully it's all over now. Till
August when we've got the Scousers at the second home game of the season out there. And you know, if we get battered
it's
there,
bad because I'm around a lot of City fans, a lot of Liverpool fans,
and
I just
gym with contingent.
And it was hard. It was really hard.
It's like obviously we can shut ourselves off here.
That's why I like London, Arsenal,
Chelsea, and all that.
It's better. Like the stuff that they say, it's a lot easier to deal with than like City and Liverpool fans. So it's been quite nice actually, to be honest. So.
That's what it's come to, man. I'm to move to London to get away from City and Liverpool
fans.
And it's been great chatting to you, Angie. It's been good chatting to you. Where can people find you? You're still doing the Talk Sport Edge stuff?
Yes, over on Talk Sport Edge, doing stuff on the app. Stuff on TalkSport 2 as well, and people will find me. Angelina Kelly, not that difficult.
You was helping our little mate Ronaldo Brown get on there when you did.
I was. Yeah. We got Ronaldo a little 10-minute segment on TalkSport 2. They were very fascinated to hear about him and his brother and his sister's names.
Yeah, because like his brother's called Rivaldo and his sister's called Trezeguet. So
yeah.
Yeah, you don't get out very often,
Ronaldo did a cracking job. He was brilliant. So yeah, he didn't show me up.
Don't say that on camera.
He didn't
he's
show me up.
He's already walking around the gaff like he's big sports.
Oh,
he's
now
been to London,
been
at the Times with Henry Winter working with him, and now he's been on Talk Sport and all that. Yeah, I remember when he was just there making brews for us all. No, great chance to you, and we'll see you again. I'm gonna come back on the channel.
Defo, give me a shout, and I'll see you soon.
Yeah, definitely. This has been a Brew. Thanks to everyone who got involved. Don't forget to hit like, share, and subscribe. Thanks for watching.